if you take a look at the Brandon Cooper Twitter feed, you're going to see a lot of those reposts coming from the hashtag DIR camp. So tell me a little bit about that. Like, how can people kind of, help educate their peers and their community about those unfair practices, and what can they do to really fix that? Because it's bigger than one pharmacy. Nobody can really go fix that.
No, and I think that's goes back to the education and advocacy side. Some of our biggest advocates here at Sue's are our own patients, because they see how they're impacted. So I think it's just talking about these things with them. When they come in and they say, well, why is that so much? Or why am I told to go to this other pharmacy where it's cheaper? And I think if you'll just take a few minutes to explain that, then people realize that there's an issue. So then when you get them also on your side, along with your local legislators and your state pharmacy associations, if you get them to start calling those national leaders, your senators and your representatives, and educating them. So once they see, more than just pharmacists out here saying, we're not getting paid, but once they see patients harmed, then I think that's where it starts hitting home, and they start saying, okay, there is an issue here when, people can't afford their medicine, and it's all because of these games that are being played behind the scenes, or these people can't get their medicines because they're waiting to get it from a specialty pharmacy or from mail order, and it's taking weeks to months to get issues like that resolved, and people are doing out their medicine. Then I think those national leaders start taking note of that and saying, okay, there's more here than just pharmacists not being paid for their
right.
for filling prescriptions or for services. There, people are being harmed.
Yeah, no, because a pharmacy, a doctor, any profession, I feel like people have certain assumptions of, and if you hear a medical professional saying we're not being paid, the general person hearing that is like, oh, doctors make so much, they're fine, and it's really not. The margins have gotten pretty slim. And I feel like most people just don't understand the landscape that pharmacists especially are playing in. When you do see patients complain about drug cost, a lot of the time they're complaining about, they went in and got AWP as a cash price. Nobody pays that. Of course you can't afford that, because insurance companies don't pay that either. And then when you start getting into more of the, intricate aspects of the GER gaps and the maximum allowable cost, all of a sudden, it's just really too convoluted for most people to just understand what's going on and why it needs to be fixed. Thanks for listening to this clip from Beyond the Scripts, presented by the Catalyst Pharmacy Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please support our channel by liking, subscribing, and clicking the notification bell so that you'll be notified anytime we post new content. To stay up to date with all of the latest independent pharmacy news and content, follow PioneerRx on your preferred social media platform.